Hi. Brandon Walker, back in the saddle again. Took a sick day yesterday. I was under the weather. I have the worst sinus infection that's ever happened to a human being, and I had it yesterday, but I'm okay now. I'm back in business. Still not looking great. Look how swollen my face looks. I don't feel great, but hey, I'm here. We're going to talk about Mississippi State sports today, as last night Mississippi State got another big-time commitment, this time out of Nashville, a 4-star defensive end out of Nashville, Tennessee. I'm telling you, this staff can recruit. Hello, Eric Wiggins from Columbus. Good to see everybody. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday, but again, I was sick. Every now and then that's going to happen. Where are my birthday balloons, everybody? Where are my birthday balloons? Nothing? Wrecking Crew not talking to me.
It's not your birthday, so
it's my birthday tomorrow. We don't have a show on Fridays.
Is today your birthday?
No.
Then I'm not getting you birthday balloons.
Good. I don't want balloons. Hello, Benny Aaron. Hello, Martin Smith. Thank you for welcoming me back. Morgan Maurice Willis checking in. Michael Shalaba says, I've never taken a sick day. You just took 7 vacation days 2 weeks ago.
What are they, 7 sick days? Or vacation days?
You've taken a sick day.
I never have. Great employee.
You're like 19 years old, okay?
No,
you have no...
Okay. About to be 24 next month.
Welcome back. Thank you very much. I hope you feel better. I feel better. Not great, but I feel better than I did yesterday. Yesterday was rough. Yesterday, Terp, I woke up at 9, okay? And got dressed for work and said, nope, can't do it. Called in sick, went back to bed, slept from 9:30 till 1 o'clock, woke up, walked around, went back to bed, slept till 6 o'clock, and then went to bed by 9. And here I am.
A lot of sleep.
A lot of sleep. And that's not really a sick thing. That's just what I would do normally. Hail State from Snohomish, Washington via Madison, Mississippi. Hello, Bill Anderson. Hello, Jeff and Crystal Gordon from Shaw, Mississippi. I believe Shaw is in the Delta. I think, is that right? I'm pretty sure Shaw is in the North Delta, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Landshark, can we get a zoom in on my shoes today? I want them to see my shoes. Huh? Yeah, right now. Don't want to do it on the podcast because, can't hear a close-up on my shoes. I don't see that camera moving yet. You're not going to do it? Not working.
It's not working. User error.
Boy, oh boy. Chris Wilson checking in from Point City. Hail State from Shannon, Chad Mask, where the Red Raiders live. Central Delta, Bolivar County. That's where Shaw is. Thank you very much. Hail State from Tupelo. Justin Russell checking in this morning. So we're going to talk about King Ani committing to Mississippi State last night. A 4-star defensive end out of the Nashville, Tennessee area. Last 10 days, a 4-star from Charlotte, North Carolina, a 4-star from Destrehan, Louisiana, and now a 4-star from Nashville, Tennessee. These are new and exciting days in recruiting in Mississippi State. We'll talk about Joe Moorhead and his staff. There was one question we all asked when he got here. One question. We felt like, looking at his resume and looking at his background, hey, he can probably coach, but can he recruit? Can he recruit? The answer looks to be, yeah, he can. Got a spoon back in the drawer, little Nick Weatherspoon. Not little Nick Weatherspoon. Nick Weatherspoon, the little Weatherspoon, the younger Weatherspoon. There you go. The younger Weatherspoon, back in the fold. He has decided to return to Mississippi State, pulling out of the NBA draft. That's exciting. He tweeted that yesterday. And at the end of the show, the return for the second straight week of Thursday Throwback Trivia. We'll have 5 trivia questions. I'll ask you on the podcast. Before I get started, I want to say something. The other day, I talked about Ole Miss on my podcast for about 5 minutes, about their fake recruiting class and the number 1 ranking that's not real. I talked about that. And every day when I get finished, I talk to them for about 5 minutes out of a 26-minute podcast. But every day after I get finished with this show, I schedule out 3 tweets, 1 for each topic I talked about on the show. The second tweet I sent out was saying, hey, listen to this. Ole Miss doesn't have number 1 class. It's not even real, and blah, 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 blah. And Ole Miss fans went crazy. Hundreds of Ole Miss fans in my notifications and mentions yesterday on Twitter. They went crazy, crying and whining and moaning. It was pathetic. It was Ole Miss. and they were all calling me obsessed. Now, how you can go into somebody else's timeline, how you can go on somebody else's show, how you can watch somebody else talk and call them obsessed, I'll never know. But it was fantastic. Fantastic. I got over 500 listens on that show from Oxford. Think about that. Think about how small Oxford is, and 500 people in Oxford listen to my show. So, yeah, all right. Landshark, you ready? Terp, you ready? Let's see who we got here. It's 53. Hail State from Jacksonville, Florida. Clayton Robertson Jr. Life is good at MSU. So much great news. What a big difference in the level of recruits from first year under Moorhead and Mullen. We'll see. Tell them to have a Coke and a smile. Ray Stacker Good says block all of them and you'll be much better off. I blocked most of them. Some of them I let talk to me, but most of them I blocked. Hail State, I'm back. Michael Clyburn. Big return for Michael Clyburn today. We were all missing him. Hail State from Fairhope, Alabama. Your favorite, Jeremiah Body calls himself my favorite black guy from Byram. I guess that would probably be accurate. Klinger from Vicksburg. Joey Cessna checking in this morning. The Windy City. Eric M. Bounds. The Windy City, known as Grenada, Mississippi. No, is that not? That's not right.
Wrong.
Okay, sorry. It was the bow tie that drew them. Yeah, I thought about the irony of me wearing the bow tie the day I did that show about Ole Miss. I did. Ethan Fleury, I've never listened to an Ole Miss podcast. Me either. I would never even think about it. You know, you can ask Bulldog Sports Radio. He has a sizable audience from Oxford every day. Ego and stupidity are a wonderful combination. They are a powerful combination. I'll just say that. Now, Patrick, are you ready?
It's the More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
That's me, Brandon Walker. More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast on SEC Country. We are officially rung in here on a Thursday, April 12th, 2018. Yeah, very good. 2018. We are here. We are doing a show. I'm back. I was out yesterday. I was very sick. I was very ill yesterday. Couldn't make it into work. And you know it has to be a real tough illness to keep me away from my Mississippi State podcast because I am dedicated, all right? I'm not like Bulldog Sports Radio. I don't skip every third day. I am here. I am Brandon Walker, and I am here for my people. But yesterday wasn't here. It was rough. We have shoe cam now? Oh, well, good. Now that we're on the podcast, here, check out my shoes, everybody. Oh, what? Yeah, look at those. Look at those. Yeah, look at those. No, down. I want to see the words. Focus on them. You're not focused on them. Oh, look at that. Look at that shoe. Is that a good-looking shoe? It says Hail State right there. I'm so proud of my shoes.
This is great content for the podcast.
It is great content for the podcast. Anyway, podcasters, sorry for the Facebook Lives. I had to show them my shoes that I'm wearing today. Now, today on the show, we're going to talk about Joe Moorhead and his coaching staff recruiting lights out. We're going to talk about Ani Ezechiku, a 4-star from Nashville, Tennessee, a defensive end, was down to Ohio State and Alabama and Mississippi State, and he chose Mississippi State last night, the third 4-star from Ohio State in the last 8 days to commit to Mississippi State. These are new and exciting times in Mississippi State football recruiting. This is different. This is different from what we've ever had, at least in the last 10, 15, 20 years. It's fantastic. When Joe Moorhead was hired, there was one question about his coming to Mississippi State. We looked at his background. We felt like he could coach. We felt like he could coach offense. But could he recruit? Can this man recruit? Well, It's getting answered. We'll talk about that. Nick Weatherspoon back in the boat. Nick Weatherspoon back at Mississippi State has decided to return after going to the NBA draft and not signing an agent, and he is back at Mississippi State. We'll talk about that today. And at the end of the show, we'll talk about – no, we're not going to talk about anything. At the end of the show, we're going to have Thursday throwback trivia for the second straight week. 5 trivia questions. Terp has already looked at the questions and thinks they're impossible, but I know you guys. You love Mississippi State football, basketball, and baseball, and you're going to get them right. So, Terp, just stand back and watch. They're going to get it. That question about the catcher, they're going to get it.
How do I know they're not Googling it?
Well, I don't, but I trust them. I trust my people. All right, I trust my people. Maroon and Company, hey, it's my birthday tomorrow. They sent me a happy birthday package. Got some nice Maroon and Company stuff. Listen, you can get something like this, the Junction Bell at Maroon and Company, maroonandco.com, at Maroon and Co. on Twitter. They are the best. They are the best Mississippi State well, I guess not just Mississippi State, but they're a lifestyle retail store. They got everything. They got everything you can need. Maroon and Company. Check them out, maroonandco.com, or in person behind Chick-fil-A on Highway 12 in Starkville. Now, last night, King Ani Ezechiku. I think I've got it right. I've practiced it all morning in the mirror. Ezechiku. I feel really good. Feel really good about it. But Ani from Nashville, a 4-star defensive end, was down to Ohio State. He was down to Alabama, and he was down to Mississippi State. And we haven't been in many of those battles in recent years. And when we've gone out of state, we've been in battles with Middle Tennessee State. We've been in battles with Austin Peay. We've been in battles with UL Lafayette. We've been in battles with Troy, but not really Alabama. Now we're going out of state. We're not getting the kids that are overlooked. We're just getting the kids that are looked at. We are getting the players that other teams won't, that big programs won't. That is different. As you can see on your screen, if you're watching on Facebook Live, King Ani Ezechiku, a 4-star defensive end, 6'4", 230 pounds. Davidson School in Nashville announced last night that he committed to Mississippi State. That is the third 4-star committing to Joe Moorhead and staff out of state in the last 10 days. Let me read what he's got on the screen. First and foremost, I'm not going to read that whole thing. I'll go to the bottom. With that being said, anyway, he says, I'm very proud to announce that I'll be furthering my academic and athletic career at Mississippi State University. 100% committed. Hail State, 5 cowbells after that. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. As Ani Ezechiku, a big-time defensive end, the number 14 rated defensive end in the country, committing to Mississippi State. Like I said, Garrett Schrader last week, quarterback out of Charlotte. Like I said, Quentin Torbor, 4-star wide receiver out of Destrehan, Louisiana. And now this guy, it is different. It is different. And if you look at this player right here, you got Chauncey Rivers on campus. You got Montez Sweat on campus. You're probably as good at the pass rushing position as you've been in some time at Mississippi State, and he would continue that. Montez Sweat, of course, leading the SEC in sacks last year. Chauncey Rivers looks to continue that. And now you're getting guys like this committed this early. You got Charles Moore from Louisville already committed, a 4-star defensive end on his own right. And you might see, somebody said it on Facebook Live, Blake Dees says it, but I'm going to tell you, if you listen behind the scenes right now, it seems like there is a ton of momentum rolling across the South with cowbells behind it. It seems like Mississippi State is in position to cash in on the Ani Ezechiku commitment, to cash in on every commitment they've got. You've got Jerrion Jones, a 4-star DB out of Northwest Rankin, committing Monday, or at least he's thinking about committing Monday. That looks pretty good for Mississippi State. And down the line, you've got a number of big-time players committing soon. Mississippi State looks to be in great position. Now, so let's transition to the second topic here, as Ani is in the boat. When Joe Moorhead and his staff got to Starkville, we looked at what he brought to the table. We looked at what he brought to the table and said, you know what, he can coach. He can coach offense. He made a big difference at Penn State. He made Penn State relevant offensively. He got the most out of a great player in Saquon Barkley. He got the most out of Trace McSorley. He got the most out of Penn State's offense. But we looked at his resume and wondered, the one question, can he recruit? Can he come down here and recruit? Because as a Mississippi State fan, that has been the thing that has been a thorn in our side. That has been kind of the inferiority complex around Mississippi State, because Mullen never went out of state and got big-time guys. Mullen never went out of state and challenged big schools over 4 and 5 stars. Now, he got great players from out of state, don't get me wrong. The last 10 years would have been different without Dak Prescott and Preston Smith and Josh Robinson and De'Runnya Wilson. But he was finding players that the other guys missed on. Joe Moorhead is finding players that nobody missed on. Joe Moorhead is making Mississippi State relevant outside of Mississippi. And he's doing it in his first 3 months on the job. That is impressive. So if the question was, he can coach, but can he recruit? The answer looks to be yes. And I don't know if it's Charles Huff. I don't know if it's Tim Lukabu. I don't know if it's Luke Getsy. I don't know if it's Joe Moorhead. I don't know. I don't care. This staff knows what the hell they are doing in the recruiting trail. They're not from the South, or Joe Moorhead's not from the South. He's got a new coaching staff. He's built an entirely new staff. And in the last 9 days, State's gotten 4 commitments, including 3 4-stars from out of state. And this isn't contrived. This isn't fake. This isn't phony. This isn't gaming the system and getting 15 commits before everybody else gets 7 and calling yourself number 1. This isn't a farce. This isn't trying to make ourselves artificially feel good when we know it's wrong. This is real. This is going out and getting players. This is going out of this state and getting players. And this state is loaded in 2019. If we just split the state and add to what we're getting out of state, we're going to have a top 15 class. Dan Mullen had, I think his top-rated class was 18th, and he did that twice in 2009 and 2015. I feel almost, I don't want to say it's a lock, but I feel really good Joe Moorhead's going to finish inside of that in his first season. His first season. Exciting times at Mississippi State. The question, yeah, he can coach. Yeah, the offense will be good, but can he recruit? It looks like the answer is yes. And I'll be honest, when we were in the coaching search, I wanted Jeremy Pruitt because I knew he could come in and recruit. Now look at what he's doing in Tennessee and how he's acting. I'm glad we dodged that bullet. And John Cohen, to his credit, went out and got a good coach, a coach who looks like he knows what he's doing on the recruiting trail too. I'm fired up about Mississippi State football. I don't know about you guys. I'm fired up about it for 2018. I'm fired up about it for 2019. I'm fired up about every time we go on Twitter and learn another player, a 4-star, 5-star, whatever, has committed to Mississippi State. Basketball, also fired up about that. Next year, I think Mississippi State's a top 20 team. Of course, they wouldn't have been if the 3 players who decided to go to the NBA draft and not sign an agent, if those 3 stayed in the draft, we wouldn't be a top 20 team. But the first domino fell yesterday as Nick Weatherspoon, the point guard out of Velma Jackson. Nick Weatherspoon decided to come back, decided to pull out of the draft, and he is officially back at Mississippi State. I would expect Quindary Weatherspoon, his brother, and Lamar Peters to join suit very, very soon. I would expect them back. But I think this is a top 20 team, and they needed to get everybody back. They needed to get everybody they signed on campus. That is happening. It is going to happen, and State's going to be ready to roll. And I think getting the younger Weatherspoon back is almost more important than getting the older Weatherspoon back. Not that Quindary's a bad player. He's not. He's a good player. He's a good leader. He's a good everything. But Nick Weatherspoon has a next-level ability. And next year, as a sophomore, if he takes a similar step that Lamar Peters began to take at the end of the season, man, he's going to be great. I think Nick Weatherspoon's the most talented player on the team. Lamar Peters second. I think Nick Weatherspoon is the most talented player on the team. That's Lamar Peters right there that you're seeing on screen. It's not Nick Weatherspoon who I'm talking about. But Landshark's trying. She's trying. I'm not going to get mad at her. She's the worst. But here's the thing. With Peters back, if he comes back, with Nick Weatherspoon back, he is back, it's entirely possible State has 2 of the top 5 point guards in the SEC next year. Think about that. With all the talent around them, you got 2 big-time point guards. It's exciting. Good stuff for Mississippi State basketball. Now, I am sick. I'm still a little under the weather, so I'm trying to fight through a very quick show today. Going to be a little shorter than normal. That's what she said. But listen, we're going to do Thursday Throwback Trivia. As I turn to Facebook Live now, we're going to do Thursday Throwback Trivia. Everybody excited? Everybody know the rules. No Googling, no phones, no anything. Just your knowledge of Mississippi State. Terp thinks these are impossible questions. I don't think they are. So number 1, we're going to go football. Number 1. Who holds a single game record for receiving yards in a game at Mississippi State? Who holds the single game record for receiving yards at Mississippi State? I need some music for this. No, I don't need music for this. I need some sort of waiting game music. Maybe the state fight song or something.
Why are you looking at me?
No, not that music. That's my... Thank you, Land Shark. Somebody says Chad Bumpus. Incorrect. Somebody says Eric Mold. Steven Stafford says that. No. Blake Dees says Fred Ross. No. Rob Chittum says Bumpus. No. Ross. No. Alan Lundy has the correct answer. Alan Lundy has the right answer. Jamion Lewis in the 2013 Liberty Bowl against Rice had 220 yards receiving, and that is Mississippi State's single game record. Point for Alan Lundy. Put it on the board, Terp. Terp, you got it on the board? You got it. Good. Number 2. Dak Prescott holds Mississippi State's career record for total touchdowns. Who is number 2? Dak Prescott holds Mississippi State's career record for total touchdowns. Who is number 2? Got some thinking out there. Sean Barker says Anthony Dixon. Tim Lee says Dixon. Wayne Matkin. John Bond. All these are incorrect. All of these are incorrect. Jackie Parker, no. Dixon, no. Dixon, no. John Bond, no. Alan Lundy is Googling the hell out of something where he's at. Alan Lundy is correct. Nick Fitzgerald, with 72 total touchdowns, is number 2 all-time in total touchdowns at Mississippi State. Can he catch Dak Prescott? If he can, State's going to have a hell of a year because he's 39 behind. But I guess, if he threw for 25 and ran for 14, that's possible. Nick Fitzgerald is correct. Number 3, one Mississippi State baseball player, has won the Johnny Bench Award for Most Outstanding Catcher in America. Who is he? One Mississippi State player, a catcher, has won the Johnny Bench Award for Most Outstanding Catcher in a season. Who is he? Jermaine Tucker, I didn't see Fitzgerald. Jared Clark. See, they got that one easy. Jared Clark with the first answer. Everybody got that one right. Jared Clark, Ty Humble, Scott Carr, Drew Newell. It's Ed Easley in 2007. Ed Easley won the Johnny Bench Award for Most Outstanding Catcher. Number 4. Who is Mississippi State basketball's all-time leader in assists? Mississippi State basketball's all-time leader in assists. What do you think, Land Shark? You know that one? It's going a little too fast for people right now, I think. Maybe I need to slow the trivia down. I feel certain people are Googling at this point. But Philip Soukup, I want to get it right. Philip got it right. Philip was first. As everybody guesses Zimmerman, as everybody guesses I'm sorry, it's men's. It's D. Bost. D. Bost has the most assists in school history. D. Bost, the late 2000s or the early, what do you call that decade? The aughts, maybe? I don't know. It's D. Bost. That's the answer. And last question. In football, which current non-conference opponent has Mississippi State played the most? In football, which current non-conference opponent has Mississippi State played the most? Memphis, no. Incorrect. Brandon Walker, no. That's my name. Memphis, no. Louisville, no. Memphis, no. Louisiana Tech, no. Southern, no. La Tech, no. Memphis, no. La Tech, no. UAB, no. Martin Smith. Martin Smith with the correct answer. You had to catch the question there. It said, which current non-conference team has Mississippi State played the most? The answer is Tulane. The Tulane Green Wave. Mississippi State has played Tulane more than any other non-conference opponent. So that's today's Throwback Trivia. That's today's Trivia Throwback Thursday. I think everybody enjoyed that. You learned some things today. Maybe you didn't know D-Boss led Mississippi State in assists. Maybe you didn't know Ed Easley won the catcher award. Maybe you didn't know Nick Fitzgerald was second all-time in touchdowns in Mississippi State. I didn't. I mean, I would have guessed because I'm very, very smart. I'm borderline genius out here. There you go. That is trivia. That is trivia for this Thursday. Tomorrow, a very special day in Mississippi State land. Hey, next week, spring game, I'm going to be there. I'm going to leave here on Friday morning and hopefully get to a Mississippi Friday afternoon. And we're going to have a good time over there at the spring game. And I might do a couple of hangouts. If you're in Starkville, I might do a hang company and just, chill with people and shoot the stuff with them. And we'll have a good time. Thank you. I almost cussed again. For the podcast, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Is Lynn Rhodes Gilmer here? Lynn, say something if you're here. I like this trivia segment. Thank you, Stephen Stafford. I like it too. It was a little too easy today, I think. And there is no good way to know if you guys are Googling. We just gotta have to go by the honor code here. Kenneth C. Ambrose says alternative facts. What's the alternative fact? What's the fake news here? So what are you going to do to close out the show tomorrow? We could say our favorite jokes about Haydad. Well, I won't have a show tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Terp doesn't like to work on Fridays, so...
I'm not working tomorrow.
Are you not?
Mm-mm.
How is that any different from right now?
I'm working right now.
So what's the word on the coach interview? I'll email him today. Hopefully it'll happen next week. I'll be attending practice today, so I'll give you the lowdown. Thank you, Bill Hurt. If it takes more than 5 seconds to answer, it's been Googled. Good point. Does Nick Fitzgerald technically qualify for throwback trivia? Well, I mean, all 72 of his touchdowns have already happened. So, yeah, I think so. Don't get technical on me, okay? Don't get technical on my show. Lynn Rhodes Gilmer is here. Lynn, thank you. I'll bring it out on Monday. Because it's still in the tube. I'll put it back in the tube. But Lynn sent me a beautiful, and you guys have seen it before. It's a print that was made back in the 80s, maybe early 90s, when there were 10 teams in the SEC. And it's a print of all 10 mascots and kind of cartoon characters hanging out, just taking a picture. I've seen it in restaurants in Starkville before. I've never owned one. I've always loved it. And Lynn Rhodes Gilmer sent it to me. Thank you very much, Lynn. I'll put it behind me one day next week. I didn't have time today because the mail got here right before the show started. But, Lynn, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. This show has a lot of help from our listeners, our viewers. This cowbell was sent by Steve C. This one by Bonnie Williamson. Gable Maroon and Company provided this one. And then I have a litany of other things that when we change studios, we're going to change studios very soon. I think I'm going to come up with a setup where I can display everything I've got. I know Glenn, what's his name? Glenn. Dang it. Glenn sent me something. Picture of his flight unit or whatever. Thank you, Lynn Rhodes Gilmer, for that. I got several other things. Maroon and Company sent me some buttons. Hey, I got a button for you to wear, Landshark, on the show. Yep. Says Ole Miss sucks. You are going to wear it. I remember that print at the old KFC, says Marty Morgan. Glenn Duncan, thank you, Glenn Duncan. I want to call him Glenn Campbell, but I know he's not Glenn Campbell. Glenn Duncan, yes. A nice mantle in the background would be nice. It would be nice. I got a lot of things out there that I've been sent that I need to display. And hopefully one day, like, I'll have nothing but cowbells here. Like, I move the helmets because I've got nothing but cowbells. Because this is more cowbell, right? Hail State, let me get a helmet. Keon to 1 Nettles. Here's the thing. I promised this helmet to somebody, and then realized after I promised it to him that this helmet doesn't belong to me, and I couldn't give it away. And this one was sent for our SEC Country Live. Oh, hey. Hold on. Everybody look at me right now. So you like SEC Country Mississippi State. You have liked this page. That's how you get a notification if I go live. So you need to like the SEC Country page, just SEC Country, because today at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, today at 2 p.m. Central Time, SEC Country Live, which comes from this very studio every single day, will be on. You know why it's special today? Because Brandon Walker is going to be a co-host. I'm going to be a co-host of SEC Country Live today at 2 p.m. Central Time. So if you like the SEC Country page, you'll get a notification when we go live. I'll be very nervous, and it's on the other side of the studio. I'll be sitting there, and I got to deal with Brandon Adams too. But anyway, I'll be on SEC Country Live today. Check it out. You need a Mississippi State hover helmet, Kevin Stewart? Yeah, I would agree with that. Those hover helmets are weird to me. There's an Alabama hover helmet out there. You ever seen those things that just spin? How does that do that? Magnets, I guess, right?
I remember I touched it one day, and it took me like 10 minutes to get it back spinning normally. So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Difficult.
I would think the most important person in SEC Country could get a bigger studio. This studio is pretty big. It's a pretty big time studio. We got the camera's pointing this way right now, but for SEC Country Live, it turns around and points that way. And you look at the studio that I'm looking at. Can we get Salih as a guest on the show? I don't understand Barrett Salih. I really don't understand where he's coming from with this sticking up for Ole Miss in the Shea Patterson situation. Ole Miss barely even sticks up for itself. They've already admitted they lied to Houston Nutt. They settled with Houston Nutt. They said they lied. They said that recruits were misled about Houston Nutt, and now Barrett Salih saying they weren't misled? You're defending somebody that doesn't even defend themselves anymore. And what is Ole Miss doing? What is Ole Miss doing? All right. The Shea Patterson thing, right? He wants to go to Michigan. He wants to play this year. Ole Miss had 3 options. They could support him, they could try to deny him, or they could just say nothing. They could just let it go. Anybody in the country would have just let it go, but the leadership up there has no idea how to let things go. They have no idea how to take the high road. The high road doesn't exist in Oxford, so they decided to try to deny him and took a PR hit for nothing. For nothing. Who is running things up there? It's embarrassing. This show is way better than anything on Bulldog Sports Radio. Thank you, Joseph Pollard. Your $20 is in the mail. Your $20 is in the mail. Ditch the headphones and get earplugs or earbuds, says Carrie Orr. Why do I wear headphones? Because Brandon Adams wears headphones?
Do whatever you want.
Why can't I have one of those mics and just sit up here like that?
It's not nearly as good for podcast audio.
Is that
Primarily a podcast.
Okay, but do I have to wear the headphones?
No.
Could I have one of those things that you stick
You don't have to wear anything. You don't hear anything except the intro.
Yeah, but could I have one of those things you stick in your ear?
Maybe. I guess you can't hear me now.
So now I can't hear you.
I want.
I can't hear anything. My ears all red because I'm wearing the headphones. Doesn't look good.
Cover those ears up.
Doesn't look good at all. Huh? I'm going to put the headphones back on.
Oh.
They still believe that Mullen set them up. Yeah, they'll never get over that. They'll never get over that. 31 violations, and Dan Mullen's the one that did them all. Yeah. IFB is the thing you stick in your ear. You don't know what I do in my spare time. Terp just cussed. Did you cuss?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
All of the words. You couldn't hear me, though.
Oh.
So it doesn't count.
Random, how many wins do you think we will get this football season? Go. That's not very random. I think State's 10-2 this season, possibly 11-1. My prediction as of now is 10-2. The after show this week has really been more intense than normal. Yeah, it has. It has. Dylan White says any other 4-stars we don't know about. There are as many as 3 or 4 4-stars sitting on the trigger button right now for Mississippi State. I know Jerry Jones at Northwest Rankin is one that State feels really good about. He's committing next week. I know Nathan Pickering is somebody State feels really good about, although he's not really close to committing from what I hear. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of good prospects that are leaning towards Mississippi State. It's been a heck of an April so far, been a great spring so far with recruiting. It's only going to get better from here. I would say between now and the end of the spring game weekend, we'll probably get 4 to 5 more commitments. Baseball coach front runner, I don't know, Blake Tees. I don't know. But I do feel like John Cohen has found his man, whoever that is. If you want to think it's Dan McConnell, you can do that, or McDonald, or whatever it is. You can do that. I don't know who it is. What do you want to see at spring game? About 85 healthy football players before and after. That's what I want to see. You said 10-2 or 11-1. So at Alabama is the one that I'm saying is going to be the loss. Not that I don't think we can go and beat Alabama. We'll have to see the season plays out. But if I had to pick a loss, I start with at Alabama. And I don't know. I go back and forth on the Auburn game. That's the one I go back and forth on because they're going to be really good. I just think State's going to be as good, and it's at home. But I think State's going to go to LSU and beat the crap out of them. I think State's going to go to Ole Miss, beat the crap out of them. I think State's much better than Arkansas. I think State's much better than Texas A&M. So it's really Alabama and Auburn that give me the most concern. Heard anything about Malik Deer? I have not. I have definitely not, but everything sounds like Malik Deer is playing well and ready to go. All right, what are we eating today? Landshark, what are you eating? You're just going downstairs like you always do? You're going to Cox? Y'all going to Cox?
No, it's not Wednesday. It's Thursday.
Y'all went to see Cesar yesterday, right?
We did.
How long did you stay?
About an hour.
Did you feel bad when you left?
No.
Mm-hmm. Moorhead is going to bring national attention and respect to Starkville. Kenneth T. Ambrose. We can beat Auburn at home. I agree, Randy McKay. We can beat Auburn at home. That's the one I go back and forth on. And I guess I leave one loss out there you just never know. So I don't know. If you ask me to say who's going to beat Mississippi State this year, the only one I can say confidently is Alabama because we just haven't beaten them in a while. It's over there. Tua is going to be really good. It's just troublesome, that's all. When are you coming back to Point City? Next week. Next Friday. Clint Williamson is going to Popeyes.
The GOAT of chicken fast food restaurants.
Chiz was on Feinbaum and very positive on State. Yeah, I saw Chizik on Feinbaum wearing that AC Slater shirt. Did you see that shirt? It was awful.
Yeah.
Like something you'd wear. By the way, what are you wearing anyway? Why are you wearing a long sleeve shirt? Yeah, why?
It was 41 degrees this morning.
It's 80 degrees outside right now.
The high was 76, so it's factually incorrect.
That rounds up to 80.
Okay. We don't round in temperature.
I think you do. Is Tua the official starter? That's Kevin Wilcher. No, but you and I both know Tua is going to start. Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback. Tua is. So Tua is going to start. All right. I'm hungry. I'm ready to go eat. What?
What are you eating?
What am I eating?
Eating.
Why did you say it like that?
That's how I talk. I don't know.
Nobody talks like that.
What are you eating?
What are you eating? Say the T.
Eating?
What are you eating?
Eating. What are you eating?
I don't know. I can't go to Cox because I'm wearing my white shoes today. I don't want to walk through the mud. So, I don't know.
You ever been to Texas?
Have I ever been to Texas?
Yeah.
You asked me that the other day. I've been to Texas. I've been to Dallas.
Oh.
But I was 7 years old when I went. So I haven't been to Texas lately.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Texas?
No.
Why do you keep asking?
I'm going tomorrow.
Have you met a girl in line and you want to go to Texas and meet her? Is that what happened?
I'm flying to Austin, Texas tomorrow.
What do you mean you're flying to Austin, Texas tomorrow?
So I'm not going to be at work. I'm going to Austin.
Why are you going to Austin?
Vacation.
Just for the weekend?
Yeah, come back on Sunday.
See. This is who I'm dealing with over here. All right.
What? I bought my
I
own
got two
way.
Atlanta private school kids.
I funded this whole thing myself, sir.
Oh, yay. You paid for it yourself.
Yeah, you keep
That's
thinking
not something you should brag about. Everybody should pay for things themselves.
That's what I do. Make it seem like it's all free. It's not. Also, I tried to go to private school.
Where'd you go?
Lassiter High School.
That sounds pretty private. All right. We'll be back on Monday. If any commitments happen, if anything big happens, I'll do a Facebook Live when it happens. If nothing else, when we come back, I'll be 39 instead of 38. Until next time, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been watching More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.